Hey, Evan from Midway Nissan here. This time doing a quick walk around of a 2023 Nissan Rogue Platinum. Starting from the front of the Platinum Rogue, you'll notice that it does have the 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels. These wheels are exclusive to the SL trim level and above. The vehicle also, like the other Rogues, does have LED headlights, daytime running lights, indicators, as well as high beams. Built into the key of the vehicle, if you hit the lock button 2 times, hold down the top button for 5 seconds, it does remote start. The engine in the vehicle is now the 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged variable compression engine. So Nissan's put a whole lot of money into designing the architecture for this engine to where it'll actually change the compression as you're driving. So in the case you needed more power, it'll lower that compression while increasing the turbo pressure. And then if you wanted to just cruise along the highway or do more high efficiency driving, it'll actually increase that pressure in the combustion chamber. That way it'll be the most efficient it can be for any condition. Built into the front end, much like the other Rogues, you do have the Nissan emblem housing radar. At the top of the windshield, it does also have the camera, which will be able to detect for lane departure warning. The vehicle does have parking sensors built into the front bumper in this trim level, as well as the side of the front bumper. That way, no matter which way you're parking, when the 360 camera comes up, it'll let you know how far away you are from anything around you. Built into all 4 doors of the Rogue, you do have key detection. So for proximity sensing, let's say you had the key in your pocket, you just push the button here to unlock the doors all the way around, so both front and rear. Like I was mentioning for the front, the rear of the vehicle also does have parking sensors to be able to detect on the sides as well as the back. This Platinum Rogue does also have the motion activated liftgate, so if you kick your foot and then take a step back without even pushing the key, it'll be able to detect your foot there in motion to open up the tailgate for you. Built into the sides of the back, you do have handles to fold down the rear seats. I already did it on the one side, but I'll show you here. Just pull this handle, it'll fold down the seats to reveal a very nearly flat load floor in the back of the Rogue. They do also come with positionable shelves, so in the case you wanted to separate your cargo, that way your things aren't rolling around, for instance groceries or anything smaller like that, very easy to do so. You also do have tie-down points in the 4 corners of the trunk. And then these cargo covers are completely removable, so in the case you wanted to just get a little bit of extra depth and you didn't need the separation, it's really easy to do. You do have a 12-volt port in the back of the Platinum, as well as the cover here to hide anything you have in the rear. On the back of the tailgate, you do have a button just to open or close, as well as lock all the doors when you close. So let's say for the sake of argument, you were just leaving the vehicle. You didn't want to close the tailgate and then grab the keys to lock it. Just push that one button, it'll do it all for you. Coming around to the rear, I'll fold up the seat to show you, but before I do, the vehicle does have 85-degree opening rear doors, so it's a huge angle. That way, in the case you needed to load in children or pets or anything, it's a little bit difficult for mobility, really easy to do. You do have these sunshades built into the rear windows, and the rear windows are actually tinted from the factory, so you'll notice it's a little bit darker than the front there, already the way they come. Sitting back here, I'm not the tallest guy in the world at about 5'8", but I have loads of headroom as well as knee room. This is with the driver's seat almost all the way back. These rear outboard seats are heated. You do have a 3rd zone of climate control, so you can change the temperature independently back here. Because I remote started the vehicle, the screen isn't on right now, but as soon as you do a full start, it will activate. You do have a Type-C and Type-A port for anybody in the rear who wishes to charge their devices. And these rear seats are the charcoal leather, which is diamond stitched and perforated, being the Platinum trim level. You do also have the center fold down armrest with cup holders built in and bottle holders built into the doors on each side. Coming on to the interior of the front, this is where you'll see most of the differences between the Platinum and the other Rogue trim levels. You do of course have your power driver's seat, power mirrors, door locks, window switches. But the driver's seat is also memory function, so if you push this, it will adjust the seat and mirrors to bring it back to however you'd left it before. Built into the mirrors on each side, you do have your blind spot monitors. You do of course have a heads-up display, which is showing the speed projected onto the windshield right there. If I turn on this button for the Pro Pilot Assist, you'll notice it comes up on the heads-up display as well. The vehicle down below does have your gauge cluster brightness adjust. Your on and off for the heads-up display in the case you wanted to enable or disable it, steering assist adjustment, power lift gate opening, automatic headlights with automatic high beams, which again are full LED. The vehicle does also come equipped with paddle shifters. It is a CVT transmission, so it'll simulate an 8-speed gearbox in the case you wanted to manually change gears. The vehicle does have all your stereo controls built into the steering wheel for track previous, next, volume up and down. And it is, in this Platinum model, the Bose sound system, which sounds fantastic and does actually use active noise cancellation to make the interior even more quiet. For this generation of Rogue, Nissan put a whole bunch of effort, time, and money to designing them to be as comfortable and quiet as possible by even doing acoustic glass on the windshield, extra sound deadening built into all of the doors, which is why even though we're actually relatively close to Highway 2 here in Canada, it is still very quiet. The vehicle does come with a fully digital instrument cluster, which is configurable, so you can change how it displays. So you see where the tachometer is a little bit of an interesting shape, same with the speedometer. You can adjust that so it looks normal, or you can show in this mode your navigation system right on there with your map. You can show the radio station, all your different safety systems, and then something really neat about all of the new Nissan models with the safety systems, like I mentioned, it does have blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, forward and rear emergency braking, which you can enable, disable, or adjust how you see fit. So in the case you wanted it to let you know if you're drifting out of the lane, but not actually take care of the steering and intervene, you can set that by leaving the warning on and the intervention off. Same thing for the blind spot assist. So in the case you wanted to enable the warning, but not the intervention to where it'll actually prevent you from turning into somebody, you could do that. Same thing for emergency braking. You can enable or disable for both front and rear in the vehicle. Speed limit sign and all the safety systems, like I mentioned, completely configurable so you can set it exactly as you'd like. The vehicle, like I alluded to before with the Pro Pilot Assist, this is the driverless system in the vehicle. So when you push this button, it will take over the screen momentarily. Then you can set the speed you wish to maintain. It won't let me do it with a seatbelt unfastened there. And then you can set the distance you wish to maintain between you and the vehicle in front. It will then give you the option for it to take care of steering. It will never go above the speed you had set, but will actually maintain distance between you and front if the vehicle in front of you is going at a lower speed than you. You do have 2 USB ports up front, the same as in the rear, one Type-C and one Type-A. These ports in the front are for more than just charging, however. These are also for data transfer. So in the case you wanted to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you have the ability to do that right from those USB ports there, along with Wireless Apple CarPlay, which can be used in conjunction with the wireless charger right up front in the vehicle. You do have the option to change the temperature, like I was referring to earlier, for the third zone of climate control, which is for the rear, independently of the 2 front zones, which you can also adjust independently. If you push sync, it will just make everything match the driver's side, which is much easier depending on how many people you have in the vehicle. The vehicle also does have Nissan's digital shifter, which is very easy to operate. One of those things that may take a little bit of getting used to, but it's the same park, reverse, neutral drive, just in a different layout. The benefit of having it in the digital form factor is actually that it frees up some space down below, where you'd normally have a physical linkage to the transmission. It's now electronic. This is actually a great space to put like a smaller tablet or a small purse. Vehicle does have parking brake, which is electronic, built right in. Auto brake hold as well. In the case you were going through a drive-through, that'll be able to hold the brake for you so you don't have to keep your foot down on the pedal the entire time. Terrain mode selection, which is not letting me go into snow mode right now based on the temperature outside, but you do have your off-road, auto, eco, and sport modes, which will adjust the all-wheel drive system, traction control, ABS, and throttle sensitivity depending on the mode you're in. These vehicles are fantastic and very, very well equipped. You also do have your SOS button, which will dial emergency services in the case you ever get into an accident, and will even, if you push that button now, be able to dial remote roadside assistance, or you can dial the emergency service from here anyhow. Vehicle does have a full panoramic moonroof, so front to back it is glass, with the front section being able to open up about halfway or tilt depending on the position you'd like it in. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section down below. I've also included a brochure for the 2023 Nissan Rogue. This being the Platinum trim level, you do get every single feature, so you'll be able to see everything in that brochure as available on this vehicle. Till the next one, look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.